This is Russ on the radio. I am your host, Russ Stevenson, the voice your mind can see. From behind the microphone on WWPR 1490 AM. Today begins a new journey for each of you within the sound of my voice and beyond. I am very pleased to bring you world-class individuals in each of their respective fields. You will be introduced to the most positive, life-changing information and knowledge known. As a benefit to you from my guests and me, you will receive products and services to make your lives more enjoyable, educational, and beneficial. Russ on the Radio is about your legacy, your life, and posterity. It's about a place to chronicle what you have achieved, learned, and how you have made the world a better place. Speak your truth here. This is the place for your story to be told. Before each guest, I will share with you a short story about an idea, product, invention, or person which has shaped this show. This segment is called Behind the Microphone. Like most of us, when we were very young, we played in the bathtub. Think back in your mind and remember the toy you played with. Mine was very clear since I loved to order products from the back of cereal boxes and catalogs. It was called Flippy the Frogman. It was propelled by baking soda pellets. It was an action toy. It could be played with in the sink, pool, or aquarium. I remember it was made by Costco Products, Inc. I loved it. Well, the story only began there. You see, when I was much older toy lover, I ended up working with and for my mentor and entrepreneur, E. Joseph Cosman, the genius who made Flippy the Frogman just for me. And now my guest, Michael Auger, my friend, freelance artist, creative consultant, and problem solver. Welcome, Michael. How are you?
Hi, Russ. Thank you. Good. I'm very well.
Glad to have you on Russ on the Radio.
It's good to be here.
Tell us about yourself and your business, Michael.
Well, as you said, my name is Michael Auger. It's one of those weird French names that sounds nothing like it's spelt. It's spelt A-U-G-E-R, but pronounced Auger. And I am a full-time freelance artist. I've been doing this full-time since 2006. And a large part of my business is bringing the ideas of clients to life. So when you have a creative project that you need a hand with, hopefully people will think of me and seek me out. I consider myself a creative consultant and problem solver as much as an illustrator and graphic designer. But in addition to bringing other people's ideas to life, I also create one-of-a-kind paintings that feature assortment of animals, crazy characters, mythical monsters, and a lot of them even react to the black light. So it's a lot of fun, crazy paintings. So between my offbeat fine art and my freelancing for other people's ideas, I lead a very busy life.
Well, it sounds it, Michael. We've been working together, full disclosure, we've been working together for quite a long time.
We have,
yeah. We have, since I think it was 2009. So full disclosure, I've known Michael for a long time. Tell my audience what motivates you.
Motivation. Oh man. Well, uh, when it's basically I'm motivated by my abilities to evoke emotion from others. I believe that's really the true test of art is, does it make you feel something? Because if it doesn't, then yeah, it's really time to go back to the drawing board. If my artwork uh, makes people smile and that sometimes even laugh, and that's what drives me to motivates me to make more.
Believe me, I've laughed and smiled at
Yeah.
your products, and we'll get into how you made one of my products uh, come to life.
Yes, indeed.
Uh,
Yeah.
what is your philosophy? And describe your creative process. Like, how do you start drawing? I mean, you wake up in the morning. How do you start drawing?
Well, yeah, it depends. Again, there's two main sections to what I do. When I'm making my own artwork, that begins usually with my subconscious. So I'll be dreaming about these weird, vivid color monsters or what have you during the night. And then I'll wake up and doodle in my sketchbook, and the lucky ones become paintings. Um, Now, totally different design process when I'm working with a client. So the role of a freelance artist is to bring other people's ideas to life. So I adapt my philosophy to meet the requests of whoever I'm working for, and use the most appropriate method to communicate the messages that they want to impart. Uh, my motto is, if you can dream it, I can draw it. And I prefer a bold and clear approach to design, but I can undertake uh, different strategies. But however, whatever way I'm working, usually my distinctive style still manages to shine through, at least to some degree.
Oh, that's amazing. If you can dream it, I can draw it. I
That's my
can't.
motto.
I can't draw a straight line. What
that
do
that's
you?
that's what rulers are for.
There's the answer to that. What do you use? Do you use paints? Do you use pen and ink? You use pencil? You use tell me.
Yes,
I
all of
don't.
the above. All of the above. I do traditional medium, which is all of what you just described. I also design digitally using a stylus pen, so it's kind of like a regular pen, except it draws on a tablet that's connected to the computer, so you're drawing digitally. Uh, so I do a lot of work that way as well. Especially when I'm creating, logos and that kind of thing. But yeah, I also dabble in a little bit of sculpture. I've done some animation, pretty much anything creative. I've got my fingers in it.
Wow. I didn't know any of that. What um what do you love most about your career?
Oh, I love the diversity of being a freelance artist. One day I'm illustrating an album cover. The next I'm designing a logo for a startup. You just never know what the next person's gonna need a hand with. So I really enjoy the diversity and creating solutions for my clients, uh, figuring out what the best appropriate method to communicate a specific message that they want to impart is half the fun. It's finding the solution to whatever problem there might be.
Wow. You were explained to me you go to these shows, and I don't know what kind of shows are they design shows or what actually what
Yeah.
process?
So so the type of shows that I go to, that would fall back into the other half of what I do, the more creative selling and creating my offbeat fine art. And so I'll go to either gallery shows, or sometimes it'll be an event with music and other live acts, and then they'll have some vendors that will be unique. And so I'll be there in a white tent, or a set up display table, and be selling my weird fun little paintings and things to as a extra bonus to make some of these events more fun.
And you said it was profitable. You make
Oh,
money.
sure.
You make money on this stuff, right?
I do. Yeah, about half my income comes from my fine art career, and the other half comes from my design and illustration on commission. So it's between the two of them, I balance and make enough to get by.
Wow. It's totally amazing. What was the last product that you did at a show that you really didn't know it was going to go and it did? What?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I had designed these cards for memorizing the states and capitals that would be of help for visual learners. I'm a visual learner. A lot of people are, they call them right brainers. And for us, it's hard to memorize facts and dates, that kind of thing. So what I did to help me memorize the 50 states and capitals was make these silly cartoon mnemonic codes that could help trigger my memory. So, for example, I had a gust of wind blowing through a lion's mane, and I drew a illustration of a lion with the wind blowing through his mane, and this helps me remember that Maine, the capital of Maine, is Augusta, a gust of wind. And so it's little silly things like that that
That's
that
not only clever, that's very educational for students of all kinds, right?
exactly, yeah, that's what I found out. There's more than just the kids that are learning this fourth or fifth grade. It's the adults as well that come and want to be more patriotic or win on Jeopardy, what have you. And they so there was two markets, both the young and the older, that were drawn to this product, and I didn't think it would be as good of a bestseller as it has been for me. But that was kind of a surprise.
Wow, that's tremendous, Michael. We have about a minute and a half. So when I'm going to break for a minute or so,
Sure.
and I want to get you to tell my audience this neat thing. I want you to tell them about custompetportraits.com and continue with that thought about the cards and whatever you're designing. But I want you to go over that as soon as our break is over. Will you do that for us?
I would love to.
Okay. You're listening to Russ on the radio on WWPR 1490 AM. After the break, Michael will tell us about custompetportraits.com. If you have a chance, go on to that site and prepare to be stunned and laugh a lot. Because I just did it after all this time, and I was shocked at what he does. So after the break, we're back with Michael. You're listening to Russ on the radio on WWPR 1490 AM. And we're back with creative genius Michael. Say your last name and tell the quick story about your brother and your name, because I don't want to give it away, but
Yeah, my name's pronounced Auger, spelled Auger, and yeah, my brother was in sales, and he was sick of losing sales to other people, so he just uh, gave up and let people call him Brian Auger, but I always give him a hard time because I take pride that I'm an Auger. It's a silly, pronunciation for most Americans, but the French people get it.
for sure, very very interesting. Let's see if we can bounce right into those pet portraits.
CustomPetPortraits.com. Yeah, so that's one of my many websites. I was telling you before the break about my states and capitals cards. You can get to that by going to rightbrainlearner.com. But I've got a lot of domains. They all point to different pages on my main website, which is artieforever.com. It's a lot. But anyway, talking back to the portraits, CustomPetPortraits.com is a subdivision of my fine art business, where I found a lot of people love their pets and they wanted more than just a photo. They wanted to capture how they knew their dog or cat, the personality that they see them as grumpy or ditzy or aloof or what have you, but they knew their pet a certain way and wanted to capture that. So what I do is I make a cartoonified, offbeat painting that captures that personality, and that's what you can find on CustomPetPortraits.com.
So I mean, when our audience goes on that site, they will be amazed. But even more amazing, this unbelievable. I mean, I didn't even know most of this stuff about you, and you've been helping me for all this time, which is
full of
great.
surprises.
Yes, yeah. You are. And the after the next break, but I want to preempt it. I want you to talk about, you do two different things. You have featured products that you design for yourself, but you also help other people.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll get into how you helped me.
Sure. So when people come to me looking for help with a creative project, it's my pleasure to help them first figure out the best way to do that, and then facilitate it for them. And I can shepherd a project through from concept all the way through production. So I really am a one-man shop that can help people bring their ideas to life. So for example, with you came to me looking for help with the book cover design and weren't quite sure how to do it, but had some basic ideas that you gave me, and then I suggested a approach that you could take, and you liked it, and then I developed the sketches, and we worked from there, and then now you have a book out there, a fun dating jungle book.
Yes, and I'm just grabbing a copy of the book here. Just real quick, it was terribly, oh good. It was terribly done when I did it.
Oh, that's nice.
And it wasn't funny. It wasn't hilarious. It wasn't comical. And you designed the inside just with the fonts. Remember, you changed the fonts, and you changed the cover, and you put all these. It's a green book. They can see it on your website. I'm not here pitching the book.
It's a great example, though.
It was from 2009, and I was so happy with it.
Well, what they say is, oh, go ahead.
it's it was The Dating Jungle, Which Animal Are You? But it's really about secrets to animal magnetism. And it fit your wheelhouse so perfectly, did it not? All these animals that you drew.
Oh yeah, I love to draw animals, especially because animals are so universal. It doesn't matter what politics or religion or race you are. Everybody can identify with animals, and so I paint a lot of them. I really enjoy painting animals and drawing them. And so when you said your book was about finding what animal you are, kind of like a zodiac but
Yes.
updated. I thought it was such a fun excuse to draw a bunch of my cartoon animals. And they say you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but of course everyone does. And so that's my job, is to get people to pick up the book so they can read your wonderful writing.
No question about it. I was very, and that's been since 2009, and it's still on Amazon.
There you
And
go.
we also did, you did the cover for a hardcover book, a soft cover book, and then you did the cover for, we did it, uh, remember Alex Stevens, my co-host, she
Yes.
she did the audio version. So you really got us through that, and I really appreciate it. And
Oh, it's my pleasure.
all because of your talent that
I do what I can. I just keep people give people the last little extra push they need to take their product to over the finish line.
well, you you did a magnificent job, and I appreciate it. Um, Tell us some more about. I have one question. What is your latest big project?
Ah, so yeah, so it's funny. It's another card set, but this one is a little bit different. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the tarot. It's those fortune telling cards, but
Yeah.
I designed my own pack as an artist. I always felt, wow, it would be a great project to do, uh, to show off, your talents. Salvador Dali created his own tarot deck. A lot of famous artists have their decks, so I wanted to create my own. So during the pandemic, I had some extra time, and so I started into this wonderful project, and deep diving into the history of the cards, because I wanted to do it justice. I wanted to get all the symbolism that is impacted into these cards. I discovered that there was actually a bunch of cards that used to be in the deck, but no longer are, kind of lost cards. And so what I did is I dug up the history for those two and included them. So my deck, unlike most tarot, which are only 78 cards, my deck is 100 cards. So I call it the Al Cento, or All 100, the Al Cento Tarot. And I've been working on this project for years, and it's just finally wrapping up. It's going to be something really fun.
Wow, that's incredible. I think there's going to be people interested in that product too, because I
Sure.
there's a lot of people that focus on that type of, they like the what's the word?
Spiritual, like
Yeah,
divination connection. Yeah, I mean, some people, with when you talk tarot, some people, oh no, is that the work of the devil? Is that evil? And it's the farthest from the truth. These cards are a way to connect with your higher spiritual self, and no matter what faith you are, it seems like a universal connector. I've really grown as a person, by uh, researching and developing my own deck, for sure.
wow. Three 3 products, and I know we can get people interested, and we'll put those on the site too. And we're coming up to about a minute and a half, 2 minutes before this break.
Sure.
And what else
The,
would
the,
you like to
Oh, I
do?
was just gonna say, yeah, for the Alcento, I've got that domain as well. So you could go to ALLCENTO.com. That's just a holder page for now, but soon that will be the tarot project. Again, all these websites that I've been throwing out, rightbrainlearner.com, custompetportraits.com, artyforever.com, they're all linked together on my main site. So if you go to artyforever.com, you can get to all the other sections.
Oh, okay, got it. Where did Artie Forever come from?
That's a great question. So yeah, back in the early days of the internet, because I was there before it started, it was just a name that I chose as my online name, because and it stuck. I've had it ever since. But
Oh,
yeah, the website's been around since the very early days.
uh,
Yeah.
give us some more information, Michael, about uh, what about your family? Did they support you throughout this entire? I mean, I know it's going back.
Absolutely.
Did they,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
tell us?
I've been very lucky, yeah, to have a very loving and supportive family and friends. I've always known that I wanted to be an artist. And so when I was young, um, my first paying gig actually was in junior high school, drawing a cow skull on the back of my friend's leather jacket. And so friends were always coming to me to draw something. So early on, I knew somehow I wanted to make a career out of being arty, and I have. But
That's
my dad was a lawyer, and his dad was a lawyer, and his dad before him was a lawyer. But I broke the mold, and I did something different.
so you didn't draw anything. You didn't draw any projects for lawyers, right?
No, not yet.
Okay. Oh, what? Tell me, how do you wake up one day and put a crayon where when you were young, pen or a pencil, and know that it just comes out of you and you can draw a, I don't get that. I mean,
I
tell
think that most people actually are originally start out that way. Well, I think it was Picasso who said that we all start out as artists. The trouble is, remembering how to become one again. He spent, he said something like, 5 years or so trying to learn how to draw like Michelangelo, and the rest of his life trying to draw like he did when he was a kid. and thank goodness he tried, because we have cubism and all the other wonderful, things. But yeah, it's really never been. Some people struggle to figure out what they want to be when they grew up. I guess I'm fortunate to have never had to ponder. I always knew that this was great and meant for me.
wow, this is a weird question. Were you the class clown in high school?
Not really. No, I was more like the class artist for sure. But
Okay.
there's definitely people that were funnier than me. But they would usually team up with me and give me, the idea, and then I would illustrate it.
Oh, that's amazing. Where did you? We're backtracking a little bit, but it's important. How were you trained? You didn't learn this on your own, obviously.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I went to the Columbus College of Art and Design. I was on a 4-year scholarship to that college, art college out in Ohio. and it was very demanding. The workload, they said, when I went, was second only to Princeton. Very demanding, and half my freshman class dropped out. So they said if you could make it through the intensive work that they threw at you, then you could really make it anywhere. It was really a trial by fire, but definitely prepared me for the ability to keep deadlines and be, professional, which is really what separates good artists from everyone else. Because you can have an artist with a lot of talent, but if they don't meet their deadline, then they're no good for most businesses, because they need reliability. So I'm fortunate enough to have both up my sleeve, and clients appreciate that.
So your schooling gave you the discipline to do what you do professionally, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's, geez, I wouldn't have even thought that. But what did they give you for? I can't even imagine. What does a designer get for homework? I mean,
Oh yeah, well, I could tell you about all-nighters pulled, uh, doing color concept charts, and oh my goodness, it's just a lot of intense philosophy, and going into the principles of design and color and form. I mean, you have to know the rules before you can break them. But having that background in education is important. The kind of artwork I do, I'm often breaking the rules, but having a foundation is a good place to start.
wow, that's unbelievable. What you mentioned a word before the last break, animation.
Yeah.
What I think I know what that is, but what do you do with animation, or what can you?
So, yeah, you can do anything with animation. So animation is basically moving pictures, moving artwork. So, like Disney or Hanna-Barbera, the cartoons that are animated are the ones that move around and have the illusion of life. And I've dabbled in it a little bit. So I've created a music video or two, and a pilot episode for a superhero that didn't go anywhere, but I had fun making it. And yeah, it's just, if it's creative, I'm gonna dabble in it. And I've done a bit of animation as well.
Well, what is, if you were to pick one part of your business and profession, and you could only do one, you could only draw with one type of pen, color with one type, or do animate, what would it be?
That would be a shackles. I wouldn't want to even think about it, because I love the diversity so much. To only do one thing, like only do animation, or only do logo design, or only do websites, or only do uh, posters, or it would be too limiting. I need, as a creative person, I need to be challenged by different projects. That's what keeps it fun and fresh, and interesting for me. So I couldn't pick just one. I need to bounce back and forth.
Wow, that's, well, that means you have your hands in just about everything.
I try.
That that's what it means. Um, so what else can you tell us about your daily routine? Is it hard to get away from family? You have to be very focused to draw something, right?
Sure. Yeah, I definitely have the life of a hermit most of the time. My wife goes off to work, and my dog sleeps all day, and I'm in work mode. And then she comes home, and I can relax and unwind, watch movies and whatever at night. But it's so important to carve out time and know when you're in a certain mode versus the other mode. Otherwise, it can be very distracting. And the life of a freelancer isn't for everyone. Some people would go stir crazy, but fortunately, my personality lends well to flip flopping between being a outgoing extrovert at social events and then being a introvert hermit during my working mode. So between the two, there's balance.
Oh, fantastic. What if you were to pick one, I don't know if it's a celebrity artist or an artist we would know, who would it be?
Oh, there's so many that I am influenced by. I love Tim Burton's wild creations. Fan of Bill Watterson, of course, Calvin and Hobbes. Just there's some others that you might not know. There's an artist named Ronald Searle, who is fantastic and swirly and wonderful in his line work. And and then there's things like The Simpsons and that it all just filters into my subconscious and comes out my own unique, weird, and wonderful way.
Wow. Have you ever wanted to do a Sunday cartoon? I don't know. Is that what they?
Yeah, an animated cartoon, sure. Yeah, most of that stuff is outsourced now, unfortunately, to where it can be produced cheaper. But the ideas are still often time collaborations are made. Like there was a project a while back called Over the Garden Wall, which was a mini series that was I enjoyed watching a lot. I'd love to be involved with a project like that. I've done a few small dabbles into animation, but nothing big like that. But yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Wow. Well, you are an interesting interview and a good friend, and you've been helping me for years, and you're still helping me. You helped me with the first interview. We're working on a bunch of projects together. This is not the time to go over that, but I'll have you back. We got a minute or so, but I gave you enough time, maybe a little bit longer, to go over all your contact information, because this is well, you started the whole thing with putting all my products on YouTube, and they're going various places. So you tell us how you can be contacted and what can we do to reach you.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different social media sites, and I try to keep up on them. I've got links on most of them, but really the best place to get a hold of me is through my personal website, and that can be found various ways. artieforever.com, offbeatartwork.com is might be an easier way to remember. If you can remember offbeatartwork.com, that'll get you to the same place. And then once you're on the main page, there's a whole bunch of different sections that you can go to. You can go to the custompetportraits.com section. You can go to the rightbrainlearner.com section, but it's all through that main website. You can also go to my name, Michael Auger, spelled AUGER.com. It's just another one of my domains. So I have all these different domains pointing to the same place, but it's an expansive site where you can see all this different stuff that I do.
That's great. And it's Arty, ARTY, the number 4 ever. Is that correct?
EVER.com. Yep, that's correct.
Arty forever. This was a great interview.
I'm glad that
we put this together, and thank you very much. Tell us, so you're going to come back and do another interview with me.
There you go. The something else, the unknown, will be in part 2.
Yes, for sure. Well, thank you, audience, on WWPR 1490 AM. Russ on the radio. You can reach me, russontheradio@gmail.com. Our guest, Michael, you say it.
Auger.
Michael has been my guest, and I'm happy to know him.